Welcome back to the Planet Munch Nutrition and Behaviour Change programme. The topic for this week is portion sizes for both adults and children and how to apply these when menu planning, shopping and cooking. Portion sizes have been worked out to meet energy and nutrient needs for the population. This is just like the Eat Well guide, with a variety of foods from the main food groups and the number of portions of each food group that is needed to meet energy and nutrient needs across a day has been estimated. It is important to remember that everyone is different, and adults and children will vary in their energy and nutrient needs, as energy and nutrient needs differ according to age, sex, body size, body composition, that's how much body fat and muscle you have, growth, how fast or slow, health, disease, and activity level, such as how active you are and how much time you spend sitting. There are also many different individual characters that play their part. This includes our genes, the way we are made, and how we live our lives. Research has found that young children under 3 have a natural built-in appetite control. They know when they are full. Therefore, offering large portions, giving seconds, and pressurizing them to eat can override this. Portion sizes. Guidance on portion sizes for children is essential to help parents and caregivers and people working with children to prepare and deliver meals and snacks in appropriate portions that are adequate, so therefore not too small or not too large. Evidence-based portion size resources are currently lacking for some age groups, and the available resources don't often take into account that children may not be growing ideally, as some children may be faltering in weight, as in gaining weight too slowly, so the portion sizes may be too small, whereas other children may be gaining weight and growing too rapidly. Therefore, information on portion sizes appropriate for children is needed to guide dietary intake advice, and that aims to meet nutritional requirements and reduces the risk of excess weight gain and obesity. Existing portion size tools for children are based on standard portion sizes. These are poorly defined and have mostly been calculated to meet energy and nutrient needs at the population level. They do not account for variations in individuals and serve as a guideline only. Therefore, a good rule of thumb is to start meals with small servings and let your child ask for more if they're still hungry. Avoid making your child finish everything on the plate or eat more than they want to by using smaller plates for younger children, as adult-sized plates could encourage them to eat oversized portions. Hand portions. Hands are used by health professionals and lay public as a guide to portion size. For children, portion size varies according to their size and increases as they grow. Teaching portion control to your children is recommended from as early as possible, and the hand method is one of the simplest and most convenient ways to implement it. This method works for all the family. Hands can be a useful tool to estimate portion sizes for all food groups. For example, a fist, thumb tips and fingertips are used to estimate 1 cup, 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon respectively. Plate size. In addition to the hand method, families can help reduce their portion sizes by using the right size plate for them and not joining the Clean Your Plate Club, as this can lead to overconsumption of food. Encourage families to eat off smaller plates. So children's size plates should measure 7 inches in diameter and adult plates should be 9 inches in diameter. And also encourage them to eat to appetite, to stop when they're full, and not to try to clean the plate or encourage them to do so. Using smaller plates can make children feel that they're eating more because the amount of food looks larger in proportion to the plate. As new foods are introduced in younger children, offer small portions and give a little more if all is eaten. By using this method, you can find the right amount of food your child needs, as the portion sizes for children varies according to their size and increases as they grow. Bread, cereals and potatoes. 4 portions a day are just right for preschool children and 5 to 6 portions for older children and adults. A rough rule of thumb is that for children, a portion of cereal or grains and other starchy food is what fits in the palm of the hand. Toddlers will need less. Younger children aged 1 to 3 years are still getting used to eating new foods, and milk still provides a significant proportion of energy and nutrients. Fruit and vegetables. As with adults, children need at least 5 portions of fruit and vegetables per day. They will need different types or varieties of fruit and vegetables each day, just like adults, to help ensure that they're getting all the vitamins and minerals and fibre needed for a healthy diet. but a portion will be different for a child because they are smaller. For an adult, a portion of fruit and vegetables is roughly 80 grams. Therefore, a rough rule of thumb is that for children, a portion of fruit is what fits in one palm, and a portion of vegetables is what fits in 2 open or cupped palms. To encourage liking for fruit and vegetables, offer small servings of chopped vegetables, salad or fruit at every meal and as snacks. Meat, fish and alternatives. Growing children and adults need 2 to 3 portions of protein each day to ensure they meet their nutritional needs. Protein foods are essential to support growth and provide materials or building blocks for developing systems in children. Protein is essential for many bodily functions in adults and children. For example, protein is needed to support the immune system and help the body repair itself after illness or injury. In young children, diets that are high in protein can lead to rapid growth that is too fast in children and can cause them to gain excess weight. So you have to be careful to give enough protein, but not too much. This is especially true in populations like the UK, where a high proportion of children gain excess weight during their early years. The National Child Measurement Programme in the UK reports year on year that many children start school already having excess weight. In the most recent report, almost a quarter of preschool children had excess weight when measured in reception at age 6. As a rough guide, a portion of protein food is what fits in the palm of the hand. It varies according to the specific food, such as a portion of meat that is roughly the size of a deck of cards for an adult and a matchbox for a child. And a portion of fish can be measured against the length of the hand. You can also get used to comparing foods to handy household items to help you judge what makes a portion. Dairy and alternatives. Dairy foods are important in a young child's diet to support growth and development of healthy bones and provide essential vitamins and minerals. Therefore, adults and children need 3 servings of dairy or calcium-enriched dairy alternatives per day. As with all the food groups, portion size matters, as energy content can vary according to the fat content, which then affects portion size. Therefore, check the labels to decide if the food is high in fat and adjust how much you give accordingly. For example, hard cheeses will be higher in fat than soft cheeses. Some people find that surprising, but it is true. A cheese that is solid at room temperature will contain more fat than a runny cheese. A portion size of a higher fat cheese will therefore be smaller than a lower fat cheese. Added sugar will also increase the energy content of the dairy food. However, dairy foods are made from milk, which contains natural sugar in the form of lactose. A small amount of added fruit puree will increase the sugar content of a yogurt, but it will also add vitamins and may encourage a child to eat fruit. All of this should be taken into account when choosing a food for a child and deciding how large the portion should be. It is the amount of added sugar you need to be mindful of. Therefore, try to read the label to check the fat, sugar and energy content and make a choice based on fat and sugar. It may be better to give your child a smaller portion of yogurt that is higher in sugar because it contains fruit, as this is especially true for children who are reluctant to eat fruit and can be a great way of getting them used to new tastes. Oils and spreads. Fat is an important nutrient in a young child's diet because it provides essential nutrients as well as energy. But fat is higher in energy than carbohydrates and protein, the 2 other food groups that give us energy. So it is important that we don't have too much fat in our diets. The best way to do this is to be careful about how much fat is added to foods in cooking and before serving. Try to use the minimum amount of fat or oil in cooking. A spray is helpful for this, or measure the fat before adding. You can also try cooking methods that don't involve adding extra fat, such as steaming, grilling, or using an air fryer if you have one. Fat is often added to foods to make them tastier. For example, dressings on salads, a knob of butter on potatoes, spread on bread, cream in soup, etc. That's fine, as we need to enjoy our food. But this is an easy way to add extra energy, so we need to be mindful of the portion size of added fats. A good rule of thumb is to use the thumb as a measure. The tip of the thumb is a good guide to portion size of foods we should eat less often and in small amounts, such as butter, mayonnaise, and sauces. Foods that are high in fat, sugar, or salt. Some foods are high in fat, sugar, or salt, or a combination of all 3. In general, these foods are not essential in our diet as they are extras. We get essential fats from foods that naturally contain them, such as meat, fish, dairy foods, or fat added through cooking. Foods on the side of the Eat Well guide are processed foods that have had fat and sugar added to them to make them tasty and palatable. Children can have these, but only on occasions. Once or twice a week is enough in small portions. Therefore, tips to keep these foods at a low level in your child's diets include choosing bite-sized or fun-sized options. Essentially, not buying large packs or multi-packs is another good idea. Remember, children do not need these foods, and the less you give them to your child is better. Give healthy foods such as fruits and yogurts as desserts and snacks, and introduce them as yummy foods so they are appealing to children. Presenting these foods in a fun and appealing way can encourage children to eat them. Top tips to manage portions. Eating healthily and serving food in appropriate portions can be a concern, but by following some simple tips, you can become an expert. Get familiar with portion sizes for children. There are lots of resources online with photographs of portion sizes for all ages, such as those found at the British Nutrition Foundation or NHS Choices. When buying pre-prepared food, read labels carefully so you know how much of the pack to offer. Plan your weekly menus. This will encourage you to buy just the right amount of foods and ingredients and will save you money and cut down on wastage. Keep healthy choices in your cupboards and fridge, and keep foods high in fat, sugar and salt out of sight. They can be given occasionally, but not every day. Present fruit and vegetables in a positive way. Serve frozen, fresh or tinned fruits with natural yogurts and vegetables with a healthy, tasty dip. And why not use the Planet Munch characters to promote foods in a healthy way and encourage your child or children to love them and enjoy healthy eating? So in summary, remember portion sizes vary according to age, appetite, health or illness, growth, size, shape and activity, as well as between people. Try to be guided by your appetite and be responsive to your child's cues of hunger or fullness. There are many useful guides to help you understand portion sizes appropriate for you, your family and your children. And remember that food labels that state a typical portion or serving may not always be the size we should eat. Behaviour change, bumps in the road. Well done for making and reviewing your SMART goals over the last few weeks and for starting your family's journey towards a healthier lifestyle. Today we're going to consider bumps in the road. Those are times when it is difficult or tricky to keep strictly to your chosen healthier behaviours. First of all, don't worry about these bumps. They are just normal parts of life and happen to all of us. Have a think about any times during the programme or events that may be coming up that might cause or caused a bump in your road. For example, there may be birthday parties or other family occasions such as Christmas or Eid, where we all tend to eat something a little bit more fancy, which are usually higher energy foods. Or perhaps it's raining and we decided not to go for a walk or take the kids to the park. These times happen to all of us, and the most important point is to just make it one day when we are not able to keep our SMART changes. And the next day, get back into our healthier family routine. Well done for completing week 11.